How to get rich while walking. I know this sounds ridiculous, and you might have already thought that if I can walk and get rich by walking, I would be a trillionaire by now. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to tell you that if you want a system to automate free up all of your time while getting you client, then check out my self-serving course below. And if that course doesn't work, like I said, I guarantee that will work, but if it doesn't work, I will refund you everything and I will pay for your next course. How's that sound? Okay, back to video. Be honest with me. Do you even walk that much? I know that you probably have not touched grass in the past year. I'm just playing with you. But if you have been watching my video, you probably have some idea of what I'm talking about right now. If not, let me tell you something that I have been doing recently. In the past 3 months or so, I have honestly felt lost. I've built something that sound like something I should have been proud of, a business, but it just doesn't bring me any fulfillment anymore. I was just repeating the same four tasks every day for the past year or so. And even though money was coming in every month, it just doesn't feel right. The redundancy just caught up to me. And I was basically on the brink of shutting down everything altogether. I honestly was scared. So I decided to take a week off from working. And with all of the time that I gave myself, I just started taking long walks. Started with 30 minutes, 1 hour, and to 2 hours. And during these walks, ideas comes into my head and it's starting to give me a new direction to go forward. And that month, I had my highest income yet. 5 grand in revenue in just 1 month and 40 grand in potential commission. So how exactly did I go from one to shut down everything to earning a highest income month in 1 week of walking? So in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly that. The first step is being in an environment where you don't get distracted. For me, it was walking on a nature trail on my college campus. So they had this nature trail where basically no one really walked there in the afternoon, 5 or 6 p.m. And it was just full of trees, and you were just covered in nature essentially. And so for some people, it can be just lying on the beach. Some people, it's just shutting yourself in a room. I know some writer does that. They lock themselves in a room and toss the key out to finish writing that book. But as long as you are not distracted, then the first step is complete. So, second, what I want you to do is start pondering on a topic. For example, in the last 3 months or so, I was having a hard time deciding what exactly I want to do with my life. What step I should take next? And should I pursue it now? So those are three main questions that I was basically pondering for the last 3 months or so. And on those walks, I basically churned those things around my head. just keep thinking around and just toss each question up for a deep kind of analysis. And I was surprised what my mind was able to do. And it was coming up with all of these amazing ideas. I was, okay, I should do this next. This sound good. This is my passion. I should start doing this. And essentially, I came up with a deciding factor. The deciding factor was going to Japan. Why in Japan? Because I was deciding of, okay, if I want to pursue something, do I want to pursue something or do I want to travel? Those are always the two biggest things ever. And I started my business because I want to travel. So I decided to take that trip, see how I like it, and if I do enjoy traveling, then I would just tailor my business around me, freeing a lot of my time traveling as I work. So if you are taking these walk and doing exactly what I'm telling you to do, and if you are coming up blanks, like nothing come out, that's fine. That's completely fine because the goals of this isn't getting the answer. It's just to get yourself to think. And if you're not even sure on what topic to think about, then I suggest putting on like some sort of podcast of a topic you love. Something that I did was I pick up a Diary of a CEO podcast as well as a Chris Wilson podcast about business or about self-improvement. Then, as the keeps talking, you will notice certain topic will pop out for you to pick your brain on. So when I was walking on those walk, I remember I was listening to a Chris Wilson, Joe Husson podcast, and they were talking about life fulfillment. What to do to keep your life fulfilled. And I couldn't help but just keep pondering what will make my life feel fulfilled. So that was basically the topic for the rest of my walk. I just pause the podcast and think. So at this point, I know I do sound like a spiritual gurus and just like, okay, you should find your inner peace type shit, you know? But what I'm trying to get you to do is, and a lot of people to do, is to get to think for themselves. So all of our life, we have been conditioned to listen to society, listen to parents, follow the social norms that you see around you. And millions of people are doing this. And I have not walked by 1,000 people who look truly happy. So be honest with yourself and start thinking for yourself. Fuck the masses, essentially. If you find yourself following the masses, then you are doing something wrong. That's one of my favorite quote from a book that I read. So just remember this. In 100 years or so, we are all going to be dead. Your friends, your family, your son, your daughter, maybe you're not your son, your daughter, but everyone that gonna judge you is gonna be dead. Your friends, everything, your superior, all of them is gonna be dead in 100 years or so. So think what you want and do what you want because you only got one life to live. Okay, that's basically enough rant for today. So there's just one last step once you have taken that to walk take the action, okay? If you have thought of something to do during that time of walking, head the fuck back, take that action, and don't you dare use that walk as an excuse to postpone action. Because I did this a lot of the time when I was just on a walk. I thought of something, okay, I should do this right now, and my mind was like, okay, let me finish that walk. Then, as I keep just walking, more and more ideas come through my head, and by the time that I essentially get home, nothing was done. I was like, okay, I think enough for the day, time for me to rest. So once you have thought something that you want to do and you think you should do, take that action. And that is how you get rich by walking or while walking. But on that, later.